Hi there, Shati. Hello, Cookie. Little Flower or Marky or whatever I decide to call you in the end, TJ. Okay, so today's one is going to be short and sweet. It's called Don't Sweat the Small Stuff, and try not to harp on about stuff, which is a lot easier said than done. I know, but I kind of feel like I've had a few experiences with a few different people, whether it be family members or friends, where like they hang on to old letters, or they like years and years and years ago worth of letters, you know, from a biological father or from a, you know, friend or whatever. But like, I just feel like, okay, fine, so I'm almost 40, and I kind of feel like maybe at some point it would be healthiest for your self and for your soul and for your body to just let go, to just forget and forgive and move on. Or if it's something that happened to you when you were little, to kind of deal with it and get over it and move on. So I actually wrote down in the book, let go, excuse my language, and move on, you know, like really. I just don't see the point in turning 30 or 40 or 50 or 60 and still kind of feeling you should blame your parents for something, or blaming a situation for something, or kind of getting stuck. And like I said, I don't think it's something that's healthy for you. And my mom has always said to me, being a shrink, you know, she's like, there's a very close relationship between your mental health and your physical health. And my mother-in-law used to always say, so Dad's mom used to always say that she thinks there's a very close resemblance between holding on to these things and them becoming cancerous. And I mean, these are all hypothetical, you know, but hippie, ha-ha, whatever things, but almost also not, you know, because especially like my mom, so your Oma only found out very late on in her years as a psychologist that if you don't sleep between 11 at night and 1 in the morning, you will become depressed. So she's treating all these people, and she had been treating people for so many years, without knowing that her very first question biologically should be, what are your sleeping hours? Because that is something that, like on a physiological level, your brain won't secrete certain chemicals to make you happy, whether it's dopamine or I don't know what it is exactly. I'm not technical, but if it makes any sense, you know, and like I said, this is a tall order. It's not something that's easily done. It's very easily said, but if there's a major issue, try and deal with it. If it's smaller issues, you know, I feel like if you do keep on blaming someone else for something that's now messed you up for life, and maybe I'm trying to get myself off the hook here, because I'm pretty sure you'll get to a point in your life where you're like, oh, it was my mom, she really like messed me up. I really hope I don't. But I also hope you could just get to the point where you like understand, I've tried my best, and maybe it wasn't good enough, maybe it wasn't perfect, but I did what I thought was right for you guys. And if there's anything that I did wrong, like, speak to me about it, let's work through it and move on. And it was something that I said to a very dear friend of mine that moved back to the UK a few years ago. We're still driving around in a car. Then I was like, I don't really know whether we have much to do with how our kids turn out. And she was like, oh, that's such a depressing thought. She was a full-time stay-at-home mom and very invested in her children. And I was like, you know, other than the fundamentals of maybe like teaching you manners or basic ethics about like what we think is right and wrong, or maybe our Christian values or those kinds of things, I think you guys are just born with a certain personality, and I can't change that. I can maybe, like I say, I can mold it a little bit, Because Shats, you have a very, very strong personality, and at one point I was even worried that you might be a bully, or that you know, might be, and then I realized it's not bullying, it's leadership. Like, you just have a very strong way of being this amazing leader. So, you know, then I kind of like came to grips with it. I was like, okay, well, let's mold it instead of trying to break it and whatever. But at the end of the day, that's who you are. I didn't make you a leader. I didn't give you this emotional intelligence that you're walking around with. I don't think I had anything to do with that, you know. So, or Dad, you know. And now you can go into this whole discussion about nature versus nurture, which I don't know much about. But anyway, it's my personal opinion that, you know, if you end up being an amazingly successful doctor one day, or just an amazing world leader, or you change the world in some small way. I'm giving big examples. I'm not trying to say that you have to become a doctor or a world leader, but I think that you will make the world a better place in one way or another. I think it's just something you were born with. I think it's just the natural talent and ability that you are going to have one day, Shats. You most probably as well, Cookie, but I'm not going to take credit for it. You know, I'm not going to turn around and say like, oh, look at those children, like I made them that way. and vice versa. If you end up just being a complete normal person and you don't really achieve anything huge, or, you know, you just live a standard life, which is what I've always really wished for you, then I'm not going to take credit for that either, you know. So, well, I'm not going to blame myself for that either. So that's where this whole thing came from, that I kind of thought like, yeah, just forget about stuff, or deal with it. I'm not saying sweep it under the rug either. I'm just saying deal with it, take responsibility for it, and move on. But anyway, okay, I love you guys. Let me show you. That is 35 weeks. So we are almost there. Shati, you are turning 6 already on Monday. Oh my goodness. I've decided that I'm going to be a bit lazy this year and not make cupcakes and cakes and all sorts of things for school. We're just sending chocolinas to school. And then we'll have a foodie club birthday party for you the following Saturday. And I can't believe it. Like, initially people say to me like, oh, time flies, and I was like, no, it doesn't. Sure, it's like every single day was dragging for the first, you know, year at least, because, you know, there's not very much you can do with a little newborn baby or whatever. And I was like, no, time does not fly. But now you're turning 6 and I don't know where the time's gone, and Peyton's already 3 and Tyler Jane's, you know, 4 or 5 weeks away from arriving, and now I realize that time really does fly, and that the time is incredibly, incredibly, incredibly precious, and that severity of we only have this one life really hits home every time you guys have a birthday, that I'm like, oh my goodness, you really need to prioritize what's important in this life. But anyway, I love you guys so very much. Bye, Leaf Yellow. And we'll chat soon next week. Bye.